Whew. All right, guys, it was a long morning today, and I just finished my workout, so I'm a little tired. But hey, even when we're tired, we can still get in our 5 minutes a day. On top of our workout, we can still do extra. If this is your workout, keep doing it. Woo! All right, so again, I've been changing out every day. Today, we're going to use weights for the starting, and I'll show you other things we can do. This will make sense. Don't worry, it'll make sense. But let's start with a little warm-up on our feet, because I got some requests on things to focus on. So I'm going to get my timer ready. We're going to be focusing on how to bind and gain a blade, which I'll show you the concept for. And we're going to be working on a little bit more of our footwork because we always got to keep our foundation under us, right? Okay, so I'm going to start the timer, and then we're going to start with footwork. About halfway through, we'll move into some blade work, okay? And again, I got 5s today to have something in my hand to simulate a sword in case you don't have one. You know, use what you have. All right, here we go. All right, so again, good on guard. So get your feet where they're supposed to be. Feel that solid foundation. Again, you should be at that comfort zone for you. And up here, when my legs start getting straight, not enough for me. I want to have that exercise. I want to get that low kinetic energy buildup, right? I'm getting ready to explode with my energy no matter what I do. Same thing if I get too wide, right? Now I'm already in it. We don't want that. So find that good balance for you. Get that good on guard for you. Let's get a couple advance and retreat, get ourselves warm. I'm gonna step out of the way of my broom here. So we have that advance, advance, retreat, retreat, side again, advance, advance, retreat, retreat. Remember that emphasis, no bouncing around. Let's do another cross from our good on guard. We cross forward, step, step. We cross back, step, step. From the side, advance. I'll cross forward if I'm off camera, sorry. Retreat, cross back. All right, now, request was angle movement. What do we do to get in a good angle, right? So right step versus left step, a right oblique or oblique versus left oblique or oblique, right? So from a run guard, get that footwork right again. We're gonna do a right oblique, stepping with the foot in the direction we're moving. So if you're left-handed or right-handed, doesn't matter, right? If I'm moving to my right foot steps to the corner. Notice how I change my alignment. My left foot pivots to match, and I stay on my opponent. Left oblique, same move in reverse. My left leg starts it, even if I'm switched, right? It's gonna be the same. I step with that foot, recenter with the other foot. So now let's do a couple together. Ready? Right oblique is stepping with the right, following through with the left, recentering on my opponent. Left oblique, stepping with the left, recentering with the right, onto my opponent. Ready? Right oblique, step, step. Left oblique, step, step. Right oblique, step, step. Left oblique, step, step. Mentally pretend where your opponent is. Make sure you stay on alignment with them as you go. All right, with just 5 minutes, keep practicing that. Remember to emphasize those. Now I'm going to show you bind and gain. Got it? Okay, these are two concepts. Okay, you got 3 core concepts when you want to deal with a blade that's in front of you, right? If a blade's out of the way, you got to do other things. But if a blade's in front of you, presented towards you, you have 3 core, my opinion, 3 core concepts you want to use to try to get around it, right? Because you don't want to just rush someone's sword. That's how you get sworded. So, and you, again, I wedged a broom against the windowsill with a weight. Do what you got to do. Practice this. If you can put it in a vise, it's even better. But you just need something to play against. Or, you know, if you have a friend or family mate, someone who can hold it for you. So, I'm using a stick, right? Start with a stick. Maybe you don't got a sword. Maybe you got to use a stick. All right? So you got your 3 core concepts. You can beat a blade out of the way, transitioning out, snapping across, beating their blade out, lunging in, beat. You have a bind where you gather up your opponent's blade, and there's a variety of ways to do this. Stab them with their blade going outside of you. And you have a gain where you angle your blade at a leverage point against their blade and can then either advance or do other things with your opponent. Those are the 3 major concepts. So today we're going to focus on binding. We're going to bind high, bind low. And remember, I'm not teaching you moves, okay? These are concepts. There's no such thing as like a sword move, in my opinion. You learn a sword concept because you will find yourself not doing, you know, like, I step in, I gain their blade, I begin my attack, and they lose. It normally doesn't work that way. You're like in the middle of a serious fight, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, I remember this, bam, I'm supposed to do that. That's what I mean by a concept, okay? So, today's concept, we're going to go over bind. We're going to go over bind. I don't know if we're going to have enough time for gain because I'm already over time. But let's do some binds together. So again, I wedged a stick, something to fight against. I get out of range. Now I got to stay on camera here. I know I'm about here, right? So I'm going to shorten my sword here a little bit for you. And you want to be out of range in the beginning. Always out of range. If you're in range, you get stabbed, right? So you begin all moves out of range. So I'm about tip to tip of my opponent, compensating for camera angle. Right?
An email is here!
Now I want to advance in, and as I enter range, I'm going to bring my sword around my opponent's sword and top. This is going over the top. Okay, there's two ways to do this one. Coming over the top. Now you want to apply pressure to your opponent's blade, because when you apply pressure, we're already over time. When you apply pressure, they apply counter pressure. This is the instinct, right? And if they don't, I'll tell you what to do in a minute. You can't go around their blade, maintaining that pressure. Now, if you get here and they have not reacted, you extend and lunge. This is a very effective technique for stabbing an opponent who has kept their sword up high and is fighting you there. You can also do this one coming under your opponent's blade. Same concept. I'm out of range. I enter range coming around my opponent's blade. I extend my sword. If I get this far and they haven't reacted, I can lunge down. Now I'm going to switch to a sword real quick because I want you to see how edge alignment makes a difference, right? Sticks are good in a pinch, but you want to have edge alignment ideally. So again, tip to tip, I'm out of range. As I enter range, I curl around my opponent's blade. If I get this far and they have not reacted yet, I can continue with my lunge. And now you'll notice that his blade's going well past me because of the angle of my edge. Got it? What you got? So, you get that good coming around, under, through, them out. Got it? All right. Bind in 7. See, we're coming over that 7. Now we're going to bind in 6 one more time, out of range. I step in range, coming under my opponent's blade. If I get this far, I can lunge, and I have already stabbed where my opponent should be, and their blade goes past me. So remember those concepts when you're trying to get a bind, a safe way to attack an opponent. What do you do if they do something, though, right? There's a reason we begin out of range, we gain the bind, and then we lunge. It's a 3-step process in case you step in and you begin the initial part of your bind. Step, boom, and you miss. They move. I don't care what it is. You're not there anymore. Now you're open, and they have an opportunity to hit you, which is why we did this in steps. So if I come in and I go for this, I don't have it, I immediately run away, get out of dodge, and close my center line. Wherever my blade was, I then have to, coming in, up, there's my center line, right? I missed, they moved, whatever. I now have to close that center line as I get out. Same move, got it? Using the opposite parry, right, where I showed you bind in 7. If I come for that bind in 7 and I miss, or they move, or whatever happens, I now have to cover my center line. Coming up to 5 is what I normally do. You can also come up to a 2 if that's a better angle. So one more time, I'm going to show you guys from this angle. If I'm coming over to get that bind in 7, right? I come over for that initial bind and I miss. It doesn't there. It doesn't happen. I'm not going to continue with my lunge and get stabbed by a guy who already knows they've got around me, right? Play by feel. Remember we said that in the earlier video? Play by feel. If I don't feel it or they moved, I have to react before I lunge. So my reaction, again, coming in over the top, gaining that, oh, I missed the gain. Now I have to get out and close my center line, boom. Coming up to that 5 to guard against the most likely counter-attack, right? If I don't get out enough or I don't feel steel, because again, play by feel, right? I come in to get that initial one. I don't feel it. I step out, I guard. I don't feel anything still. I guard again with another retreat, keeping my center line closed, making sure I don't die. There are three outcomes of the fight. Win, lose, draw. 2 of them you died, right? If you're taking this seriously and you want to get more martial with your training, remember that emphasis.
Sorry.
All right, something to work on. I'll see you guys more tomorrow.